Well, it's the first FemmePowerU live event, so it's a 2-day workshop, and I'm working with women around understanding their core values, really exploring their soundtrack with money, understanding how they can really build up their self-worth, just a lot of stuff. We're digging really deep and making some incredible connections.
Every woman I've talked to today has been just so excited and has taken something away already, and I know we're not even done yet. You've had a man panel, you've had so many things. Tell us a little bit about the details for today.
So what I wanted to create was a space for women to show up and be able to actually spend some time focusing on them, because oftentimes women have they're dealing with everyone else's problems, and they've got kids, and they have a spouse, and they have to cook dinner, and they have jobs, and they have own businesses, and there's just so much going on that they oftentimes are so busy with their hair on fire that they don't take time to value themselves and really ask, what's my experience right now? How's life? And if they're feeling unfulfilled, really taking the time to figure out why and giving them some practical tools around that so that they can actually improve their experience of their day-to-day life. That's really what FemmePowerU is all about.
And this comes from personal experiences with you, right?
Yes, it was my personal experiences, conversations that I've had with women at my Wine, Women, and Wealth groups, as well as watching my mom go through 5 years of internet dating in her 50s and really seeing her begin to value herself and ask those questions like, what do I want after raising kids for 25 years and never focusing on what was important to her. Also seeing girlfriends of mine that were having kids, and half of them felt guilty for staying home and the other half felt guilty for not working. I mean, it was just this crazy scene, and I thought, what if we could create a space for women to come and really align with what's most important to them, and if they have that space, then they can make decisions from that place and really value themselves and celebrate what it is that makes them unique.
I love it. Well, you're going to have another one in February. So how do we find out about it? How do people get involved? Tell us.
So the two-day event will actually be expanded to a 3-day event in February. It's actually going to be January 31st, February 1st, and 2nd. And you can learn a little bit more about FemmePowerU as well as watch the video from the first event at femmepoweru.com/2day. And that's going to give you all of the information that you need. There'll be an introductory video from me, and it'll give you a chance to get to know a little bit more about our community and see if it might be a good fit for you. It has everything to do with figuring out who you are, especially if you're in business, and turning that up, right? I'm just going to be me 110%. And when you're you can forget about all the conversation about that competition, because it doesn't matter. Nobody else can beat you. If I'm the only Mara, people are either going to love me or they're not. If they do, great, let's play. If they don't, great, go find somebody else you like better. It really doesn't, I don't have to have that emotional tie to whether or not someone has that connection with me. I can just be who I am.
I gotta say, this was a gift that was it's going to be life-changing. We've only got through the first part of it, and there's so many light bulbs that are going on, because us as women, we don't take time to really stop and reflect on ourselves and to really think about who we are and what makes us the individuals that we are. I like that she tells us to go back but not stay there. That's such a strong statement, because so many of us women get stuck going back because we want to stay in that victim spot or where it's safe. But she allows us to go back to visit that spot, to be vulnerable to those emotions, and come right back. Like, we're not there anymore. We have grown, we've evolved, we've changed. And she gives us that visualization to show us our growth, and we don't take time to do that. I think that this is an experience every woman in San Diego, I hope this goes global, because I think this is really an experience that a lot of women need, but they're so afraid to give it to themselves because you have to pretty much dive deep.
It's scary.
It's scary. You're vulnerable. Your emotions are vulnerable. But when you do that, you find the core essence of who you are, and that just domino effects in all aspects of your life.
This is all about you. And we've created 2 very important experiences that we're going to draw from. The first was looking at all of the positive things that you're able to create from having a positive self-worth, right? So we're going to come from that space, wanting to create more of this so you can be more of who you are, show up that way in the world, and make a huge impact in other people's lives.
I know you're a sponsor. How did you get involved in this?
I've had the pleasure of knowing Mara for a few years, and she asked us to be sponsors, which of course we were going to step up for, but we've just really watched her grow and develop this business. I'm so proud of her.
She's amazing. She's all about empowering women. What do you think about this today, this seminar?
It's been great. So there's a lot of great energy in the room and just really helping women kind of learn about the value for themselves and that empowerment, which is one thing that we, tend to gravitate towards with the work that we do. And so to have like a room full of women doing that is amazing.
If there's anything that you've taken from this so far, is there anything that you've gotten today that you think you'll take home with you?
Tons of stuff. Just as far as like what are those negative messages that we tell each other and have bought into for so long, and being able to catch it and stop ourselves and really revert to the positive side. And that's a very good lesson for everyone.
Hi, Jennifer. I wanted to get your input on today. What'd you think?
Today was so empowering. It was great being around so many women that are down the same life journey as myself. So it's just a great event.
So would you come back next year for this?
Absolutely. I've met some wonderful women and developed some great relationships that I know are going to prosper.
First, tell me how you got involved with Mara.
Mara actually, I met her at an event and she attended one of the events we run, one of our breakthrough events. And I just fell in love with the girl. She's freaking amazing. So we started talking, and when she said she had a men's panel, I said, what the heck's a men's panel? And she said, well, we're going to have a lot of women in the room and they want to get a men's perspective. And at that point I was sold. I'm in. And she's just, an amazing soul.
She's amazing. How about you, James?
Yeah, I met her at a conference, at Ted McGrath's conference, actually, and I loved her spirit. And it's just like, I'm just going to wear whatever I want, I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to be whoever I want to be. And I loved that about her. Really, really confident, sexy woman. So.
Well, so what do you guys think about this conference? I know you were only here for a short amount of time, but any thoughts that you had with what you saw today?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind is how real and how authentic she was. So what I loved is, because she brought us up and I said, what do you want us to talk about? She said, whatever you want. I'm like, no, what do they want? And she started talking about, the first topic was just so raw, so real. And you don't get that a lot in conferences. Very often everyone stays that surface level or a little below.
We were digging deep.
Yeah, Mara was just going right for it, and I thought that was really cool.
But like what Matt was saying, Mara did a great job, and she's brought together obviously women who want to change for the better and want to improve themselves all the time. And who better to learn for than a really powerful woman like Mara, who's got her stuff together and she's sorting it out, and she's teaching other women how to empower themselves.
My company's name is Sweet Spot Power, and I help women to really step into who they are meant to be in the world and to show up fully. So I like to say I like to help women become wildly successful in life, in love, and in business without compromise.
So you were a perfect fit for this FemmePower too.
You bet, absolutely.
So how did you get involved with Mara?
Actually, we've done a couple of events together, and we've worked side by side, and so this is really a great opportunity for us to be able to kind of bind together and put together our passions and serve our communities. And so I live up in Northern California, and so this was a great way for me to be able to support her, and I'll be able to bring her up when I do something as well.
And what do you think so far of this workshop?
Oh, I think it's amazing. We're all really up to the same thing. We just have a different voice and a different way of delivering it. And I really believe that returning women to who they really are and to the love that they really are is what we're all up to. There's a lot of healing going on here.
She's just a vibrant young woman. I just love her energy and what she's about. And of course she said, can we be a sponsor? I'm like, absolutely. How could I not? I mean, she's just growing like a magnet on fire, and that her, you see her passion. As we've worked together, I've seen her grow and grow and grow, and she's just dynamic.